Okay. I want to thank you guys coming today. What I'm going to do is show you a short presentation on what eXp is all about and how we're changing the industry. I'm going to start with this. I don't know about anybody here who have grandkids. I've got a couple grandkids, and my oldest one, Sophia, in fifth. Anybody have any fifth graders? Fifth graders? Not fifth graders, 5-year-olds. I did the wrong thing. 5-year-olds. 5-year-olds. I got a new 5-year-old. And when she went to kindergarten, I don't know what it is with girls, but girls tend to grow faster. She was a little tall little 5-year-old, Sophia. She came home from her first day in kindergarten, and I said, Sophia, I'm just anxious. What, were you the tallest kid in the class, or the shortest, or average? She goes, well, what do you mean, Grandpa? I said, well, were you the tallest kid in the class, or the shortest kid? She goes, no, I wasn't the tallest. And I said, well, who was? She goes, Mrs. Long. So the obvious thing in 5th grade, by the way, that was Sophia, my first grandchild. My second grandchild, same thing happened, Ava. Guess what she did? Tell me the teacher. The obvious things that come to you in life, it's obvious the teacher's going to be the tallest. What I'm going to share with you today is what's obvious. Our industry is changing. The industry of real estate is changing, is it not? How many people think, did we even know what Zillow was 10 years ago? Right? So we are kind of scared of the industry's changed, right, Bob? Through the years. So what I want to share with you today is a story of mine and why I'm here just in 4 short years. This is myself. I've been in the business since 1984. In the last 21 years before eXp, I've been with eXp almost 4 years now. I'll tell you my story is, I was invited to check out this company 4 years ago by 2 agents of mine, Elizabeth Riley and Jill Lieberdite. And they actually were agents. When I say that, I was retired as a team leader or manager for Keller Williams, been there 21 years. And they said, check out this model. Could you check it out? So guess what I did? Being an ex-CFO, I checked it out. Glenn Sanford flew in, our founder. Jason Gessing flew in. I actually flew up to Boston to check him out. Then 5 months later, now let this sink in, all you guys that have been married over 20 years. Just so you know, Bob. I come to Susan, 5 years, we're retired. We owned 6 Keller Williams offices. We owned a region, Northern California and Hawaii. And I come to her one night and I said, honey, guess what? I said, if you knew Netflix existed, would you own a Blockbuster? And she says, well, of course not. And I said, we own 6 of them. And the look on her face was not good. Because the look on her face was, you're kidding. And of course, then I call Elizabeth up and I said, Elizabeth, can we go to dinner and you can talk my wife into helping me sell the Blockbusters we own, because I just found Netflix. And I actually got with Elizabeth and Jill and said, guys, this is the real deal. Have you guys ever read the book by Malcolm Gladwell called Blink? Okay? He wrote The Tipping Point, Outliers, but read the book Blink. And in Blink it says, if you've been doing something for a long time, I mean, it just goes into it. Don't ask me why, but when I saw this model 4 years ago, and I kept peeling back the onion and going, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. And that's what I'm going to show you today. My blink was, it's going to work. Guess what? Every once in a while, guys, I'm a guy. I don't have women's intuition, but I got news for you. My blink was, this is going to work. Went back to Jill, went back to Elizabeth, said, guys, I'm in. I'm coming. This is going to be the future. In 5 weeks, I sold the region and 6 market centers. And I jumped on board basically May 1st, 2015. So there's my journey, and I got news for you. I'm kind of excited to share with you guys today how it happened and what's happened. This is the gentleman that got me excited, Glenn Sanford. He's our founder and visionary. And the one thing I like talking about Glenn is he's my best geek buddy I know. When I say that, Glenn was a top real estate professional. Been in the business since 2002, but he's also did it through the internet. He was one of those guys that got leads through the internet, right? I sold in the 80s and 90s when we did everything by advertisements and everything else, right? This internet thing was new to me, but I love the fact that when I talked to Glenn and he showed me this model, he goes, Gene, we're going to change the industry. Because if you do anything today I want you to go away from is that a lot of people, it's funny, this eXp thing's been so much fun. A lot of people go, boy, you're thinking outside the box. I go, no. We're not thinking outside the box. We're a whole new box. And that's what Glenn shared with me. Because guys, we could have started any new real estate company that was like the old box. But guess what? That didn't excite me. What excited to me is that we were going to start a whole new box, Netflix, right? Let's look at what's happened to the industry. I don't know about you guys, but anybody still owe Blockbuster some fees? Okay, I have 5 kids and 5 grandkids. I got news for you. When Blockbuster shut down, I was happy. I think I owed them about $5,000 in late fees. But I want you to understand in each one of these examples that I'm going to show you, and I like using Blockbuster versus Netflix because quite honestly, Blockbuster thought everybody wanted to go in and get the video, that it was an experience of going into bricks and mortar. But what happened when, what was the technology? The disruptive technology is what they call it. If you ever watch Shark Tank, they're always looking for a disruptive technology, something that just destroys one industry and kicks it forward. What was it? Streaming video. So in streaming video, they didn't change it, right? Netflix didn't change it when they were sending the DVDs out, right? They changed it when streaming video, and you could sit in your PJs for $8 a month or $9 a month and watch movies. And I used to think binging was food. Binging is not food anymore, is it? My son was, Dad, you got to come over and binge watch with us. It's like, what was this all about? Boom, boom, boom. When it's accessible and it's easy, none of my kids have cable. I have 5 kids. None of them have cable. If you want to watch Netflix, Dad, just come on over, right? Streaming video caused that to happen. So what I want to share with you, and by the way, Amazon, I just went on vacation a week ago. I was at Inman, by the way. I was at Inman. We were ringing the bell. I'll tell you all about that in a little bit. But we were gone for a week. I don't know about you. I'm gone for a week. My front door looks like a package delivery deal. Are you guys like this too? Amazon is just boom, 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 boom. And I'm going, Susan, what's going on? She goes, I ordered some stuff. When's the last time we shopped in bricks and mortar? Guys, things are changing. And in real estate, in my lifetime, since 1984, I've only seen one basic model, and that basic model was tops down, the owner's up here, the managers are underneath them, and what's on the bottom? Yeah, us, agents. So what kind of power do we have in that model? Does it look tops down to you? It sure does to me. Well, when Glenn showed it to me, he took the agent and put it right up on top, and he said, Gene, we're going to revolve it all around the agent. And I said, God, boy, you tell me how that's going to work. And he says, I'm going to show you. That's what I'm going to show you today, what Glenn invented. Okay? We're one brokerage, not a franchise. This is really, really important. If you leave today, if anything, I just want you to understand one thing. I lived in the franchise world since 1989, really actually since 1984. I was at RE/MAX in the 80s, then Realty Executives. I owned that franchise, and then I was with KW for 21 years. Franchises are driven by who? The owners. Because the owners buy the franchise, and then they hire managers, right? And the owner signs what? The lease and everything. So really, when I was in those, we were always looking for leaders to drive a market. Okay? If you leave anything today, just know we're not a franchise. Basic story was when Glenn came in town 4 years ago, and he says, Gene, I looked at it. I'm not kidding you. The blink happened pretty quick. The first dinner I said, well, I'm going to hit him up. How do I buy Texas, Glenn? He goes, I can't sell it to you. I said, what do you mean you can't sell it to me? He goes, it's not for sale. And I went, I like you even more. So there's no franchises. He goes, no, we're going to grow with agents and agents' sphere of influence. I went, okay, now that's different. That's a new box. It's not the old box. We're driving through owners, right? And where's all the, Bob, if the owner drives everything, where's the profit go? Huh, very simple, isn't it? That's driven to the owner or to the franchisor, right? They call them franchise fees. With our model, since we're on top agents, that's us. Oh, I don't know about you, but if the profit's all driven to us, which model do you like better? The one that's driven to what? The agents. So, here's what Glenn showed me, and I got news for you. 4 years ago, and guys, I'm not a gamer. I have not, fooled around. My kids did. But when he showed me that we could get rid of all the bricks and mortar, just like the streaming video did for Blockbuster, for Netflix, got rid of the bricks and mortar, right? So he showed me the cloud campus environment. The key thing is for millennials, and I've read, for especially all of you all, you can work from anywhere. I don't know about you, do you work from anywhere anyway? Most of us do right now. But the key thing is when he showed me this environment, I got to share with you, guys, we're avatars. This is the coolest thing you're going to experience. And I'm going to share with you, if anybody's been with us for a while, you want to share. The fact is, we actually go in as avatars to a world. Now, I describe it like, I live in Austin, so I describe it like University of Texas, and you've got the tech department over here, and you go to the tech department, and you get your tech questions answered. And then you go over to the transaction department, and you go, well, wait, am I walking? Am I an avatar? Yes, you're an avatar. The coolest thing about it is once you get used to it, you're going to think you were doing it all your life. Who can give me an example of them being scared of being an avatar and then going, this is kind of cool?
I did it the first time I had to use it. I went into tech support. I had a problem with my computer, and I was a guy that I'd go in there and excuse me, and when someone would talk to me, I'd click out. So I just like poof poof disappear. Because I thought it was the weirdest thing. I'm old. It's like, this is weird, right? And I had to go to tech support. I went in tech support and said, I'm having a problem with my computer. They said, all right, give me a second. They took over my computer, and within a minute I walked out of there with my computer fixed.
Right.
I was sold. I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever done.
Well, here's the thing about it. If you read any books on technology, we're in 2019. Let's think about this. All the books I've read is we actually just started a new information age. What's it going to be 31 years from now in 2050? I don't know about you, but I used to actually have a cord attached to my phone. Right? There were times, there's going to be people, did you ever see The Voice the other day? I got to laugh at this. Because on The Voice, a guy was singing Operator, what is that, the Jim Croce song, Operator. And he says, that is a great song. He goes, what's an operator? He doesn't know what an operator is. There's going to be things the millennials don't even know we have, right? So I'm thinking 31 years. Here's the key to all of it. Instant, 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 instant availability. And as an avatar, we have our staff. We have right now 350 to 400 staff members. They're in there as avatars. It's instant. They can go in and get their question answered. They don't have to get dressed, drive to the office, put on makeup, and that's for you, Bob. So in other words, a lot of people are going, I'm just telling you, people want it now. They're not going to wait in the future to go, let me drive to Blockbuster, pick up the video, right? It's Netflix. Boom, boom, boom. I want to binge watch. I want to be here for 8 hours. Ging, 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 ging. That's the way our business is going to be. I really believe it. And our customers want that too. They want the answers now. So what I'm going to tell you about this, I want you to explore we have training, we have everything. I'm going to go over it. I want to tell you one little story on this because when Elizabeth and I started this, we just bought in. It was 3 years and 9 months ago. And I went, okay, I'm in. There's no bricks and mortar. Let's go in to our new office. It's called going in there. So we had meetings for Texas every 2 weeks. From 9 to 9:30, boom, we're in there, do our updates on contracts, what's the market doing, and then we'd gone. And I got used to it, Mitch. I'm just telling you. It was like 8, 9 months, then something happened. Believe it or not, more people would come to those meetings than I ever got as a manager to a meeting where people drove, right? Well, 8 months later, I got to tell you, it was a very personal, Marguerite and I were talking about it. My mother-in-law, Marguerite, Cronin passed away. She was 93 years old. So we had to go back to Ohio. We were gone for 3 weeks. Not a pleasant time in our lives, but it was just one of those things we had to do. We came back, and you know what? We had a meeting. Gino and Susan, we're both realtors. We missed a couple meetings. And I said, well, honey, let's, and we had this meeting, and we're all avatars, and it just hit me. It's almost like you guys are all avatars, and I'm sitting here, and I'm talking. I said, my wife needs a hug. This has been a tough 3 weeks. We went around her as avatars and hugged her. And I heard her crying in the other room. I went, this is real. This is not fake. We're talking, this is the way people are going to communicate. It's no longer foreign to us. And once you get used to it, you're going to go, wait, I want to talk to somebody from New Jersey, and you're going to meet him in there as an avatar, and you're going to get to know him as somebody, and then when you meet him live, you're going to recognize their voice. It's going to be instant. So I got to tell you, I'm super excited about our community. By the way, we bought our platform. Our platform is called Verbella, and we bought our platform that we're using a few months ago. So just so you know, all the things that we've invented, we're the only real estate company right now that can use Verbella. It's kind of exciting. I'm really excited about that. Hey, eXp Solutions, you guys as agents, the question I get all the time, well, we don't have an office, how do we get things done? I said, well, you get things done just like you always have. We have our own eXp Enterprise because you got to understand we had to create our own back-end product to keep track of stock and rev share because those two things nobody else has. We use SkySlope. If you're using SkySlope now, that's our back-end product. We use Workplace by Facebook to communicate. What's really cool is we have all these little people that communicate all the time. I'm finding that I'm in a whole bunch of groups, and I get to communicate faster, quicker than I ever did by texting or, of course, by leaving messages. And I want you to know I'm going to go over your CRM and lead generation that I'm going to go through, and also your branding with us. Live training. Guys, there's nothing better than being an avatar and going to a training class. Here's why. You don't have to get dressed. You don't have to get ready. If you can't make it, we record most of them. Think that's a good thing? It's a great thing. So you as agents, if you can't make a training, we have more than 20 hours a week in training. We have masterminds in there. I want you to think of it. It's very, very easy. All the things that you want to learn are in there Monday through Friday. Hey, marketing. It's funny, when I go to South Florida, everybody wants their signs to be pastels. Colors are weird, right? Then I go to Pittsburgh, they want it to be black and gold. Don't understand why. Well, guess what? Use whatever colors you want, Bob. Whatever. Now, we've got a logo, we like it, but you know, a lot of people go, I'm not using those colors, right? My buddy Pete from Pittsburgh, he goes, Gene, it's got to be black and gold up here, dude. I said, okay, use whatever you want. The coolest thing is it's your brand as an agent, Marguerite. It's your brand, not eXp's. We want you to be forefront, all right? You guys use whatever you want, and the marketing is just phenomenal. Hey, CRM and lead generation. Anybody ever heard of KV Core? Conversion? Okay. Just so you know, you get that product as an agent here for free. It's got a CRM, it's got a landing. Hey, anybody know what landing pages and squeeze pages are? You will soon learn because you can target market areas and get leads. This is a lead generation tool on steroids. Glenn Sanford generated most his leads through the internet. And he said, Gene, if we're going to be on the forefront of technology, we have to provide something for our agents to do it. Now, quite honestly, if you don't use the product, are you going to get leads? No. Right? But I'd say quite a few of our people are starting to understand, boy, if I just do a page like that. I had an agent who had been with us for a year from Berkshire Hathaway, and she'd never done anything. She finally said, oh, okay, I'm going to set it up, and I'm going to start putting it. She goes, the first week, 48 leads. I said, well, I told you. And she goes, okay, I guess I should have done it. Right? So it's there for you if you want it, Bob. Hey, equity opportunities. I want to share with you right now that EXPI, which is eXp World Holdings, I just mentioned to you earlier that that's little Jeannie right there. There's Susan. Elizabeth, you were right here. Where are you?
I was on the other side.
You were on the other side. You're right here. No, Elizabeth was there. What's exciting is we got uplisted to NASDAQ May 21st, 2018. We got to celebrate that just in January when we were at Inman, and they had the big celebration, and we got to celebrate that we got uplisted. What when I tell by uplisted, we were an over-the-counter stock, and only 60-some companies got uplisted to NASDAQ or the big board last year. Only 60 in the whole name. We're one of them. It's not a little thing. It's a big thing to be uplisted to NASDAQ. So we were standing outside freezing, right? Remember, Elizabeth? We were freezing looking at this big sign. There's eXp, there's Verbella. Because those are eXp Realty and Verbella are the two we own, and we were downstairs. The studio was down here. I want you to know, we need to look at the video of us applauding. This is not a little thing in the industry. We have created so much momentum. Let me give you an example. Coldwell Banker, 70 years it took him to get to 10,000 agents. Keller Williams, 18 years to get to 10,000 agents. eXp, 8 years. We're now, as I'm filming this is early February 2019, we're right around 17,000 agents. Literally 2 years ago, we were at about 2,600 agents. 2,600 agents to 17,000 in 2 years? Never been done in the industry. And here's the difference, guys. It's not an agent count thing, it's a quality agent count thing. We're attracting so many top producers across the nation. They're looking at this as business people and going, this is a great model. Why is it? It's equity opportunities. How much shares do you have of the company that you're with right now? Most of the time you're going to say, I don't have any. We all do. We have opportunities. Here's how you as an agent have opportunities to acquire shares in EXPI on the NASDAQ. Everybody say NASDAQ. I kind of like that duck, like Aflac. NASDAQ. I kind of like that. I need the button, NASDAQ. Because that was a big thing for us, for Glenn Sanford, for all of the board. The fact is this is a brand new model that got verified in the public's eye. I have a lot of stockbroker buddies, and he goes, you guys got uplisted? I said, yeah. And he goes, you understand not a lot of people? I found out it's not very many. Not a lot of companies get uplisted. Very hard to do. Okay, here's you as an agent. You go, Gene, how can I acquire shares? Well, here's how you can do it. I want you to understand we have a lot of our agents that just sell real estate, and they acquire shares by just doing what they do. You get shares on your first transaction. You get $200 worth of shares on your first transaction every year. This is every year. When you cap, Bob, I know you're a capper, you've been a top producer for a long time. When you cap, which is 80-20 split, everybody's on the same commission split, 80-20, 20% caps out at $16,000 to eXp. Once you pay that in, you get $400 worth of shares. We've got a dollar amount now. You go, cool, every year? Yes, every year. And the third way you can acquire it is when you sponsor an agent to eXp anywhere in the nation, anywhere internationally, and they join on their first closing, you're going to get $400 worth of shares. Now, the reason I talk about those three first is there's a vesting period on those. You will get the shares, but you can't cash them for 3 years. Understood? Okay. A lot of my buddies that own brokerages go, that was pretty smart, because you're going to wait for when? For those shares to vest. The other way you can, I'm going to go straight down to the Agent Equity Program. I'm going to come back to the icon. But the Agent Equity Program is the fact that all of our agents, since we're a corporation on NASDAQ, can take 5% of their commissions that you earn. Let's say you earn $10,000 in commissions. You can take $500 of that and buy stock at a 20% discount. Huh, are you kidding? I have people that have been with us for 3.5 years. I'm going to tell you some stories that say, Gene, I can pay my house off now just by doing the 5%. Because that 20% off, our stock's been going up and up. Yeah, whatever it is, it's kind of cool, isn't it? It's equity for your family. The Icon program, by the way, the 5%, I'll give you a couple stories. You guys ever heard of Harvey, that little thing that came through Houston a year and a half ago, the big doggone flood? One of our buddies, George Huntoon, was on CNN all day. He became kind of famous for a while. They did not know he was an eXp agent. He just saved about 140 people from his boat. He was on CNN. George became famous in Houston. I called him a week after the flood. His neighborhood was 10 feet underwater, 12 feet underwater. He goes, Gene, I ain't selling homes very much. He goes, my whole neighborhood's flooded. It's done. I won't be selling homes for a while. And he says, but you know what? I got that 5%. I can live off that. That's kind of cool. You know, you don't really even think about it, but you're taking that money and you're putting off the side. You can cash it. You can use it. You can do it every time. That's why I separated it out. That was kind of cool for George. He said, don't worry about it, Gene. I said, well, come to Austin. You can help sell homes here. He goes, no, it's okay. I'm all right. Okay, Icon program. Bob, this is for you. I know you've been a really good producer for a long time. Once you pay in the $16,000, I'm going to give you 2 ways you can become an icon. You pay in the $16,000, you go to 100%. All right? If you sell another 20 transactions after you pay in the $16,000. Now let me explain to you what a transaction is. A referral, a lease, or a sale. Because a lot of people have definitions. That's what we define them at. So I was talking to one agent, he goes, Gene, I do 15 referrals a year every year. Plus I sell about 20 homes. I said, well, you'll be an icon, okay? When you become an icon, Bob, for those 20 transactions, you're going to pay us an additional $250 fee just on those 20. So 20 times $250 is $5,000. And you go, well, you mean, so I'm paying 16 plus 5. And I go, yeah. But the minute you hit that 20th one, you're an icon, and you're awarded $16,000 worth of shares in EXPI. 16,000 in, 16,000 back. It's kind of cool. It's awarded differently, and we change it from here to here, but normally 12,000 of that is awarded to you right away. $2,000 worth of shares you get when you attend both of our events. We have 2 events a year, okay? The other way, by the way, I'm in Texas most of my career. We're units people. I mean, we have agents that are selling 100 units a year, 50, 200. You know, we think units. But on the East Coast, West Coast, right? Miami, San Francisco, Carmel. I used to own some of these offices. Those people sell 3 homes a year, 4 homes a year, right? But guess what? For them, Mitch, we did another icon program because they go, well, I make $1 million a year in commissions. And I said, well, if you make $500,000 in commissions, you can write us a check for $5,000. Got it? So you write us a check for $5,000 because you're never going to do the 20 transactions after you cap. Write us a check for $5,000. Once you do $500,000 in GCI, boom, you're an icon with us. So we've got those luxury areas, right, covered that the people don't do but 4 or 5 or 6 transactions a year. Here's the cool thing about equity opportunities. It's ownership. It's ownership. Guys, when we all own the company together, guess what happens? Yes, cooperation. It's just real. If we all own it together, right? If you all owned, I always tell it, if you all own Coca-Cola stock, how much you drinking Pepsi? Anybody? I mean, let's face it. You own a lot of Pepsi stock. How much Coke you drinking? None. Well, when we own stock together, guess what happens? We actually work together. We love using the word collaboration. When Glenn started saying collaboration to me about 4 years ago, now it's like one of my now it's like I say it almost every day. Let's collaborate. Let's do things together. We share everything. Here's revenue share. Now, you know, before I get into this, I want to ask everybody, how many people in the room are making at least $3,000 a month, just comes in every month? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, these are the people with revenue share. Right? So in other words, bottom line is we've attracted agents, so we're going to award the agents that attract people with revenue share. Now, a lot of people ask me, they go, well, it sounds like you're doing something different. I go, no, we're really not, Bob. A guy asked me this the other day. He said, you know, if you're with a franchise, what do they take off the top? Franchise fee. Well, where's the franchise fee go? To the mothership or to the owner. And a lot of people go, I don't know. I interviewed a Sotheby's agent the other day. They take 8% off the top on every deal. I said, well, who gets the 8%? She goes, I don't know. I said, you don't know, it's just taken out. But it goes to the ownership group somehow. I said, well, what if we had no franchise fees, which we don't, but we took part of that 20% that we're taking until you cap, and we give it to the agents that help us grow. And really that's no different than, you know, just taking money off the top and giving it to who? We're going to give it to the agents. Now, which model do you like better? The model that gives it to the owners or the model that gives it to the agents? Which one likes agents? Raise your hand. Yeah, baby. Okay. It's real simple. Why do you think people are making the decision in 3 days to join us? Because they've been at companies for 20, 25, 30 years and never got any of the owner's money. Ever. Okay? Now here's revenue share. Very simply how it comes to you. We have everybody, when you sponsor somebody on your first tier, we call them tiers, and they're a capper, okay, you can earn up to $2,800 annually. Now the way I do it is I just look at, if they're a capper, Bob's been a capper forever, I'm looking at him and across his forehead is $2,800 every year. You know, well, seriously, yeah, ka-ching. In other words, you get paid it monthly as they close. But what I want you today, it's a dollar figure I can actually say to people. It's actually 17.5% of the 16,000. So it's a percentage of the 16,000. It's 3.5% of the total GCI. I don't really like using percentages. I'd rather do the dollar figure because people go, well, if I recruit a really good producer, how much do I get? And I go, $2,800 every year. They go, oh, that makes sense. I said, go get 10 of them. That's $28,000 a year. And they go, that's all. What if you attracted 2 people every year for 5 years? You're paying for your cap and more. Now, Bob, I'm going to give you this example. I give this example all the time. And I do this with agents because they go, well, Gene, I've never attracted anybody. I don't know how to do it. I said, well, I'll teach you. It is a different skill. But do you think maybe if you're selling 20, 30 homes a year that and you're doing all this stuff, that maybe 1 or 2 people would join a year? They go, yeah, 1 every 6 months. And I said, okay, so let's set a game plan. In 3 years, I want you to attract 6 people. So you have 6 times what on your first? 2,800. Now you're going to know why I use the number 6. 6 times 2,800 is 16,800. Oh, you paid for your cap. You're truly at 100%. Now I will tell you, Bob, if you have 6 people in 3 years, guess what's going to happen? We just don't have the first tier. We have other tiers. Do you think if you had 6 people in your first tier, they'd attract other people?
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you say it louder.
Yes.
Okay, good. Guys, this is life. Now what will happen if you have 6 people on your first, they all won't attract people, but I'm telling you, one of them is going to attract 3, another one's going to attract 3, and the 4 will just sell real estate, enjoy being with us, and you're going to have 6 people on your second. Well, on your second tier, just so you know, what's that dollar figure there, Bob?
3,200.
3,200 on the second tier for a capper. This is when Glenn Sanford, when he showed this to me 4 years, I went, Glenn, what are you doing? You're paying more money on the second tier than the first tier. And he goes, Gene, I want it to be the best teamwork effort you've ever seen. So if you get 6 people on your first, you're going to them going, hey, if you need any help getting anybody, let me know. And it just perpetuates. Help, collaboration. Agents attracting other agents. If you leave here today knowing anything, instead of owners attracting agents, we have agents attracting agents and their sphere of influence. Now, it doesn't just go one tier. So I asked you earlier, if you had 6 here and 6 here, and they all capped, they do not all have to cap. But I'm just pretending they're cappers. That's where I get $3,000 a month. 6 times 2,800 is 16,800. 6 times 3,200 is 19,200. You add the two together and it's 36,000 a year or 3,000 a month for 12 capping agents. Now let me ask you guys a personal question. You guys sell real estate for a living. Do you think it's going to be harder this month, in February, whenever we start, to get 2 listings, 2 buyers under contract, or text 2 agents? Text 2 agents. How much time does it take you to text 2 agents? Nothing. So literally it's not that hard. You've just never been rewarded for it, Bob. If you're rewarded for it and I show you how to text those 2 agents and say thank you for doing great service, maybe you might want to come to an event we're having just like you are today. This is what's called a lunch and learn, and we actually have people come from, and thank you guys for coming today, but it's not that hard. It's not like learning an unbelievable new skill. Now here's what's cool. We don't have 1 tier or 2 tiers. We have 7 tiers. So if I get 6 people on my first tier, 6 on my second, 6 on my third, these are the dollar amounts you can earn by getting on each tier. Now, you have to go wide at our company, and I explain this every time. When I say wide, you have to have 5 people on your first tier to get the big bonus on the 3,200. Does that make sense to everyone? 5 wide, then you get the big bonus. Once you get 10 people on your first tier, you get the big bonus on the third, 15 on the fourth, 20 on the fifth, 25 on the sixth, and then to go to 7 to get the big bonus, $4,000 per capper on your 7th, you have to have 40 people on your first tier. The cool thing is, where's your exit strategy anyway? Right? You know, just so you know, Bob, I know you for years. People followed you when you went to Keller Williams. They just knew you did good business. They followed you. You didn't even know they followed you. You attract people. You're the same way. When you go somewhere, right? You came from Coldwell Banker. People at Coldwell Banker goes, why'd she leave? I don't know. You know, they're going to follow leaders and you're going to attract people, okay? The coolest thing about this is it goes 7 tiers. If you don't understand this, it is huge business for people. And it's residual. It's coming in whether you're doing business or not, okay? Hey, here's what it costs to come over. I told you about the commission and the cap. Everybody's on the same one. This is really cool to me. Just so you know, everybody goes, what's my commission split? I said 80-20 till you cap out at 16,000. You don't have to cap out, Bob. You could be a half capper, you could be a quarter capper, whatever. But that's the cap. Then you go to 100% for the remainder of that year. And it's on your anniversary when you start. So if you started in March, it'll be March to March. Now, what's your standard cost? Guys, $149 startup fee. It's only $50 a month to live here. Just so you know, $50 a month. Are you kidding? I've had people, when I talked about KV Core, and they go, wait, I'm paying $500, $600 a month for KV Core. You mean I get KV Core and all that CRM and everything, all the lead generation tools? I said, yes, for 50 bucks a month. Now, I've had people come and say, you had me at 50 bucks a month, right? Our university fee is $420 coming out of your first closing, okay? And so we didn't want to charge for, we want all our training to be fee, but you actually pay for that out of your first closing for $420. On every closing, you have a $25 broker review. That's how we pay our brokers. And $40 risk management fee, just so you know, that's out of every transaction, capped out at $500 a year. Capped out at $500 a year. So that's how easy it is to come to us. I want you to know that at eXp, we're creating our own core values. We developed these a couple years ago when we only had a couple thousand agents. We're living and breathing them. I want you to know that we're looking for agents that are excited about real estate, that are selling real estate at a high level or however much they want, but they're excited about our business because you know what? We're being attacked from every level. We're being attacked from everybody else saying, I don't know, you're charging too much, you're not charging enough, I don't know. You know, there's so much things going on in our industry. We believe that the real estate industry is driven by real estate agents and their sphere of influence. And that's what we're hanging our hat on. So the bottom line is, we believe you should do service in your community. We've got to be sustainable. Collaboration, again, that word. Transparency, guys. We're open book. It's really kind of cool. We're very innovative. And I love this word agile because got news for you. If you're not agile, are you guys working at a company that hasn't changed in like 50 years? I mean, come on. You got to be agile. And of course, community. I love being involved in my community. And my number one, as you guys know, is fun. I mean, I'm sorry. If we're not going to have fun, I've coined the phrase about 4 years ago, making real estate fun again. We've been through a lot of stuff the last few years. Let's go make it have fun. So if you want to become a shareholder with us, and everybody that's into this meeting or is hearing this, either on a YouTube or something, or you're just hearing me via webinar, or you've seen this tape, please contact the person that gave you this, that showed you this, and you contact them right away and say, okay, good, it was exciting. I want to name you as my sponsor. I want you to go straight back to that person if you can. And you can go to join.exprealty.com and make application. But we're very excited that whoever sent you this or you've seen this, you go straight back to that person and tell them how much you enjoyed it. And I'm going to end with this. The fact is, the industry's changing. It's changing at light speed. I predict within 5 to 10 years, there's not going to be a lot of real estate companies that have bricks and mortar. Just my opinion. You know, I'm sure there was a time everybody thought Blockbuster wasn't going to go away. What do you guys think? I think we're in that change where people are looking at eXp going, I can't believe you're growing that fast. Why are you growing that fast? And I go, well, it's because we got a new model. We're only charging $8 a month. We're Netflix. You know, wasn't there a time when Blockbuster said, why are they growing so fast? Right? How about Uber? How about all these things, right? They couldn't believe how they exploded. Just so you know, growing as fast as we are, we'll be all over the world before you know it, and I don't want you all to miss out. So thank you for letting me come by and share this with you. Thanks.